Welcome back to The Experience. Today my guest is Ashley Morrison. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
How's everything going today?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Talking to
great
Mike,
day.
little Mike.
Great off day.
Perfect.
That's for sure.
Oh yeah, you off? What do you normally do on your off day?
Jesus, gym, catch up on house stuff, catch up on life.
You get like 1 day off or 2 days
So
off?
we work 7 on, 7 off, but all of us work a part-time job, right? So typically on my 7 off, I'm off about 4 or 5 days.
Nice. So for the folks at home that don't know, we have a new type of job on the show today. What do you do?
I am a paramedic. I've been a paramedic for 16 years for West Jeff.
Thank you. I really appreciate that because a lot of people don't realize that job is probably one of the hardest jobs. And, besides being like a police officer, fireman, doctor, nurse.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's but I mean, does it suck because it's just, you see crazy shit or?
Yeah. Like we go through, so become an EMT-Basic, you go through about a semester of college, so about 3-4 months of college, and you do so many rides, right? But to become a paramedic, it's more 2 years more of schooling. Yeah,
because I've seen like people, they weren't like a full-fledged paramedic. It's like the beginning stage.
Exactly. So that's the EMT-Basic part is the beginning.
Okay.
So, but they don't teach you in school like how to deal with being a paramedic. They just teach you how to be a paramedic.
Right.
So it's a massive,
so the
massive
trauma
difference.
is, they
they
don't teach you that. Like no therapy?
No. So New Orleans EMS and us at West Jeff EMS was trying to create a first responder, paramedic EMS kind of portion of PTSD help. Yeah. But it never went off the ground. Damn. It never went. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
How long ago was that?
About 2 years ago, right post-COVID. COVID did a lot for us. Right. Yeah, and I think that's when really the world really realized what EMS was and what paramedics were. But yeah, they tried about 2 years right post-COVID, and it just didn't. It didn't go farther.
During the COVID, was it like super crazy? Because I know hospitals were packed, like maxed out, and all that crazy shit. Like, was that like one of the worst times in your job, or?
I'd have to say it's definitely one of the top 3. It just kind of got to a point where we typically our trucks run between, on a good day, is about 6 calls in a 12-hour shift, right? Gotcha. So a 9, 10, 11, 12-day call is pretty bad. But we were running, I was on night shift at the time. I was an assistant supervisor at the time. We would run at least 15 to 20 calls a night. And there was just so many people that the ones that you knew you had to transport, it just towards the end of it, it just kind of, you knew they weren't going to make it. Wow. So you just spent that extra 5-7 minutes with them on your stretcher, just actively dying in front of you, just so they can be with their family, because you knew the family wasn't going to see them anymore.
So when they were getting sick like that with the COVID, it was just, they were pretty much like terminal.
Yeah. Yeah. It just sucked. It sucked.
Was it like all different ages? Because like, you hear like, oh, kids can't get it, and then you hear kids get it, and old elderly, and like, was it variety, or was it like mainly?
In the beginning, it was kind of the elderly, and then the second phase of it was more the middle-aged, younger kids.
It's weird how I did that.
100%, 100%. Even like a lot of us had it in the second phase, like, and we just had to fucking come to work because it's just like, who's going to cover you, Yeah. Yeah, because your relief is also probably has fucking COVID. Yeah. So
I feel like everybody had it, and some people didn't have the symptoms that were like symptomatic, right? But you still have it.
100%.
And I knew people that were like still working out and shit. I'm like,
yeah.
COVID. But then you had some people that couldn't breathe.
Yeah, a good friend of mine. It took her about. She had it the first go around. It took her. She'd run 5 miles every morning. Right. Every morning before she went to work, she'd run 5 miles. She had just a desk job, but whatever. It took her about a year to get up to running 5 miles again after she first had it. So yeah, it was kind of a taxing thing.
What do they? There's a scientific term, medical term for that. What is that called? Like after you get COVID, and it's the COVID breath or the COVID like.
It was oh my God, I forgot what it was. Some made up fucking shit.
You should
It was
know
just some made up fucking shit. No, it was
long
literally
COVID.
Some made up shit.
Long COVID.
Like, I think it was long COVID. Long.
COVID.
It's so fucking dumb. It was
What
just.
Does that mean?
It's just It's just. You have damage and just face it. It's just kind of like that's the best way to explain it. You have damage.
Is it the lungs?
Yeah, it was all the lungs. So it would definitely inflame the hell out of your lungs and break it down. If you had pneumonia, and it was different kind. Like if you looked at somebody's chest X-ray who had COVID, instead of it being like who had pneumonia COVID, instead of it being just like all the top and just cloudy, it was spores, almost like you had mold in your lungs. It was fucking crazy. Yeah, it was really weird. It was wicked.
With the people getting the pneumonia COVID, those were the ones like passing away. Huh?
Yeah.
What So what was that, like a 2-year stretch of that?
It's about a 2 year, yeah, probably. Yeah, like the first one was about 4 or 5 months. Then we had a little bit of a break. Then we had a couple of months more of it, and the third strand wasn't nearly as bad. So it was about, I guess, about like 15, 18 months, really.
Do you you think, because I've heard somebody say like, oh, there's gonna be like another pandemic. I mean, like, what do you think on shit like that?
I don't think so. I think we're ready now.
Yeah.
We're ready now.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so, man. It's so crazy how it just like next thing you know, COVID.
Yeah.
What made you want to become a paramedic?
Oh my God. So I was actually in nursing school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was a secretary on the floor at the hospital at West Jeff. So pre-Katrina, I had a job downtown New Orleans. I had my daughter. Yeah. She was a week old when we evacuated for Katrina.
Wow.
So we, when we came back, obviously I had no job because New Orleans was on the fucking water, right? Everything was destroyed. So
you were an assistant there, you said?
Yeah, I was I was the administrative assistant as a secretary for the owners of a loan company, and I was on my way into becoming a paralegal. Yeah, totally different.
Damn.
Yeah, like different, totally different fucking view. Now that I'm saying that loud.
Less stress, more stress, danger.
So much more money, so much less money.
Yeah.
So when we came back, I took as a secretary, an administrative secretary on the floor at the hospital at West Jeff.
Okay.
And he's still a paramedic to this day. This guy named Josh Blanchard. He seen me studying for nursing school one day and was like, hey, like, what are you doing? What are you studying for? It's like, well, I'm starting nursing school and I have to get through this AMP. He's like, you really should become an EMT in that semester that you're off. So I did. And I was born and raised on the street. Like, I mean, back at Ames.
Same place, yeah.
100%. Back at Ames, Lou Marrero. Yeah, exactly. So once I became an EMT, I got sucked in. I did my first semester of nursing and absolutely fucking hated it.
Like, because I thought some nurses have been paramedics first.
A lot of them have.
Okay.
A lot of them. So it's technically an upgrade from paramedic to nursing.
Okay. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it is. 100% is, like, an education-wise, it's an upgrade. There are still a lot of nurses who still work as paramedics for other services.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 years of fucking misery to get that license. Like, nobody wants to give it up. But yeah. So I dropped out of nursing school and proceeded into my education and get my paramedic for 2 years. My daughter was 2. I was going through a divorce. It was fucking terrible.
And nursing school is 3 years or 2? Well, because paramedics 2 years. What's nursing?
I guess it's technically 4 once you get done all your prerequisites. So 4. So I was in 2 years and a quarter into becoming a nurse, and I dropped out.
But if you wanted to do it now, it would probably take you like, what, 2 years?
No, I'd have to restart everything all over. Yeah, it's a 5-year tap out, and I've been a 16-year paramedic, so I'd
you
have
to do it 3 times.
100%. I would never fuck it. Like, yeah.
You never thought, like, so you just feel like you are a paramedic. That's what I do. I love it.
I thought about it just because of, like, the stability, and I get to travel. So 16 years as a paramedic is like 10 years as a nurse. So I thought about it just because of, like,
it's rough on the body.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah. Like, can I do this till I'm 65 as long as I keep progressing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a field supervisor now.
Yeah.
So as long as I keep progressing, I'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But could I be on the street till I'm 65? Absolutely not.
No, I mean, remember I told you my stepmom, she worked for West Jeff. I think it was she was a paramedic for 20 years, but I'm pretty sure it was West Jeff most of the time. And like her out was putting somebody in a stretcher in a ditch, and when they were like lifting that person and she went to turn, she like tore her ACL.
100%.
And she was just like never the same, man. Yeah. And she was like older, and it's just like she's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
It hurts.
I mean, you're fucking picking people, and I mean, people are getting like bigger now, and it's like you can't like just. I don't know. I got a few friends that are paramedics, and they always tell me crazy shit. And I'm like, dude, y'all had to get a lift for a person?
What saves us now, like, not all services are privileges us. Like, thank God for our director for fighting for the grants for it, but we have power loaders and power lifts.
Gotcha.
So in the back of our trucks, we have what we connect our power load stretcher to.
For sure.
And it lifts the stretcher up, and we just have to glide it into the truck. If not for that, there's no fucking way I'd be able to do this. I'm 39 years old. I'm too old for this shit. Like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, and there's a difference from, like, working out every day to, like, working out people on a stretcher.
Wholeheartedly. And they're not, like you said, they're not getting any smaller. They're just getting bigger.
And then you got people that are, if they're having withdrawals or they're cracked out and they're fucking going crazy. You gotta, y'all are dealing with like a lot of elements.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell you how many people we wake up from a heroin overdose that whips our ass for the first 5-7 minutes, and it's like, all right, you chill.
Narcan?
Yeah. Once you wake them up from Narcan, man, they become a beast.
Who invented that?
I don't know, but they need.
How long has it been out?
Narcan's been out for a long time.
Okay.
Long time. But fentanyl, well, I can't even say fentanyl, but all the shit that's in heroin now has been probably roughly hard for the past 3-4 years.
Why? Like, who decided, like, hey, fentanyl, let's just put it in shit and kill people? Like, aren't they killing their customers?
They are. Do you think they give a shit?
Yeah.
So
how do they make more money?
If you can make a batch of 100 with some cheaper stuff versus a batch of 20 with high stuff.
But then all your customers are dead.
Yeah, you'll find more. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, what if you want?
I know that's terrible to say, but like you'll find more. It's fine.
You kill half the fucking city,
right?
And, like, you done killed your damn supply. Because I've even heard, like, this younger generation, they love to get fucked up. It's like
100%.
They're getting fucked up on fentanyl, which kind of makes me go, well, can't like a little bit kill you?
Yeah.
But they're finding ways to do it. So I think that's trippy. And I thought I was wild, but
Yeah, no. It's fucked
wild.
up. It's completely fucked up.
Yeah, it just seems like about 6 years ago when I went into rehab, it's like that shit just came out of like left field, and then I had never heard of it, and then it's just like boom. But I know it has like a lot of health benefits for like medical purposes, like people in crazy amounts of pain. Like I know it's used properly and. Like
in-stage life. Like if somebody's on cancer at home on a deathbed, 100%. We carry fentanyl. We carry fentanyl as paramedics. We carry it for pain management.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many times like we've gone to give it to an elderly person with a broken hip and they've been like, no, I don't want to. Like,
because they're fucking scared.
Right, exactly. They're like, I don't want to be addicted to this. Like, no, this is different. This is like the actual real fentanyl. This isn't the made up street shit.
Is it addictive?
It is. It's an opiate.
Okay.
It's an opiate.
Okay. So it's about like heroin, pills, all that other 100%. Stupid shit.
Yeah. And growing up from like having a mom on drugs, like I get it. Like I really do. But it's just
that's how like family life was a little bit like that.
Yeah. So I'm the first one of my generation and below to get a high school education, much less
congratulations.
Thank you. Much less a college education and go further. My sister is super successful, so is my other one. But we're like the only three of about well into the 40s, if not lower 50s. But yeah.
You're the oldest, right?
I am the baby,
You're
actually.
the baby.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I act like the fucking oldest.
Yeah, because at what point, like when I met you, was it Pard Playground?
It was Pard Playground. My God. Softball, cheerleading, volleyball, name
Mandy,
it. Yeah.
My sister Mandy and Meg was playing, and so I remember you had your long ponytail.
Oh yeah. It was down to my ass.
Yeah,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Yeah. That shit was cool back then.
It was cool back then.
Yeah,
until
fucking Pard.
Yeah, fucking Pard Playground.
They made me since I was like a little fatty. They remember what was the guy like the director guy?
Not Frank.
Little short dude.
Oh, what was his
Buzz?
name? Bud or Buzz?
Buzz.
Was it Buzz?
I don't know. Maybe not.
It was something with a B. It was either Buzz, Bud.
Yeah, it wasn't Bud. But,
no, not Bud.
I just remember I was playing football and they fucking made me weigh in my underwear because I was like the biggest kid.
What a weirdo.
And my mom was pissed.
Shit.
Yeah, because she's like, dude, he's like fucking 10. And back then it's like all the kids are looking at me and I was like, oh, fucking no. Like, I was like,
I'm just trying.
I don't even like taking my damn clothes off in front of myself,
Holy shit. Jesus
self-conscious and bullshit.
Right.
So definitely not good for, the mental. But I played every sport there. It was a good place.
Yeah, I did. Miss Janice. Oh my God. She was everybody's mom.
Oh yeah. It's
she was a good woman.
Yeah.
She really was a good woman. She really was. But she would put your ass in check quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I like about some of the older generation, the ones that don't fuck around, because I feel like nowadays kids aren't getting that. I saw a kid yesterday that was just like super disrespecting their parent. And I was like, dude, my dad would have knocked all my teeth out.
100%.
All of them.
Yeah. My grandparents primarily raised all of us.
That's what I was going to ask you. So if your mom was going through that thing, was that like since you were born, or was that like a later thing in life?
Later, like I guess like I'd have to say like when I was around 5.
Okay. Was your dad around?
Not until after. Not really.
Right.
Not really. Yeah. No. When I was 8, they divorced. He was already seeing my stepmom at the time.
Okay.
But he didn't start coming back around until I was about 14. So just being primarily raised by my grandparents and my mom just being loaded all the time. It was just kind of like.
So it's you, your 2 sisters, and who else?
That's it. Just the 3 of us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just the 3 of us. They have a brother. So technically my sisters are my half sisters.
Yeah. I have one of those.
Yeah, but like my dad raised them since they were 2 and 3. So that's our dad. They don't even talk to their dad. Like that's their dad. So that's my sisters.
Yes.
But yeah, she was, she always attended the events, but would never left any events. Like I had to learn how to drive when I was like 9. Because we would go to Del Champs.
Yeah.
You remember Del Champs?
I used to rent movies from that place.
Oh,
dude.
my God.
I miss renting movies.
Blockbusters, period. When you'd go up and down the aisles and just freaking go check out what you wanted.
Little plastic holders, and you click the little things, pull that tape out.
100%. It was so fucking awesome. Kids these days will never know what it was like to be us when we were kids.
No.
But yeah, like I remember going to Del Champs when I was like 9.
Because your mom was just...
Yeah, just be loaded by the time we get done shopping and just drive home. It's just...
if you don't mind me asking, like, what was her preference, her drug of choice?
Any kind of pill she can get a hand. So she never got into IV stuff.
Okay. That's good.
Never got into needles. No. Just any kind of pill she can get her hands on. My uncles were heavily in it, like my entire family.
Right. That's what I was going to ask. Like, what started? Like, was she depressed, or did she get like into an injury? Because I know some people.
She got into a back injury at work.
Yeah.
And that just kind of like, she was already doing it before from depression, but like the back injury at work just kind of like helped it keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, so I hate to say it, like she's kind of later down the road of life, she would apologize to us for being such a shit mom.
Yeah.
But we would kind of thank her 100%. But we would also thank her for, like, my 2 sisters and I were the only ones that have no jail record.
Yeah.
We have no kind of, I mean, except when I was a juvenile.
Well, it could have went 2 ways. You could have been a badass,
right?
Or it made you say, I don't want to live my life like that.
When we were kids, it was pretty bad. Like when I was in middle school, my middle school cheerleading coach, Miss Sibley, took me in for a summertime because she seen me going down that beaten path. I was hanging out with the cousins that were like deeply, heavily gang infested.
Yeah, for sure.
And she's kind of seen me going down that path, and she took me in. I had already spent a couple of weeks in juvie at that point.
Old juvie.
Yeah, old juvie. It was different then than it was now.
Yeah.
But she kind of took me in and kind of put me back on track. But like as she got older, she used to apologize constantly for being such a shitty mom. But it was like, well, no, because if you weren't that way,
right,
we would have followed down the path of every cousin that we spent every day with, and all of our friends and all of our like. So it was just kind of like, no, like you were a shitty mom, but thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, you were so traumatized. Y'all were so traumatized by like the drug use that you were like, I'm not fucking acting like that.
Yeah, exactly,
you know?
exactly.
It's sometimes it's a. Did she like go to like a rehab or like a 12-step program, or what did she do? How did she get sober?
Never. So she got sober when I had my daughter. Okay. I had my daughter in August 12th, right before Katrina.
Nice.
And when we came back in that October, I started working in the hospital in November. So we agreed that my ex-husband's mom would watch her for a week, and then my mom would watch her for a week. And the agreement was, like, if I ever pick her up from you and you're high, you'll never watch her again.
100%.
We made it to the week of my birthday in February. Yeah. So I picked her up I worked Monday through Friday. I picked her up on a Thursday. And she was kind of loopy, but I was like, you know what? She's been getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been here at 6:30. Got to be at work for 6:45. No big deal, whatever. And then when I picked her up on Friday, she was passed out in the bed. And my grandma was watching her. So
her
mom, yeah. So on Saturday morning, she called me. And I mean, this was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I picked her up, 3:30 in the afternoon. And she didn't call me until like Saturday afternoon. So
she woke up.
100%. So that's kind of what cleaned her up. I told her, I was like, you'll never see her again. You'll never watch her again. You'll never do nothing.
So that was her rock bottom.
That was her rock bottom. So in August, the week before my daughter's first birthday, my sisters both called me and came over and seen me and begged me, please, please, please let mom come to her birthday party. But still in all, my daughter's 17. She died. My mom actually passed 3 days before her 65th birthday last year.
Sorry.
No, it's kind of
life.
It's a roller coaster.
She was sober at this point?
She was, okay, so I can say she was sober, but I can't say she was sober. So she kind of, she starved herself to death pretty much. So my oldest sister and I.
Really?
Yeah, completely opposite. My oldest sister and I took her in when she was legitimately at her worst, and we went through waves of fucking mountains of dealing with her medical problems. And she was fine on a Saturday night and on a Sunday morning. And then she passed on Sunday morning, and on Sunday night, my sister actually found a bunch of pills in her room that she had taken.
So the pills made her not want to eat?
Between the pills and just depression, her mom died, her sister died. So, like, it's hard for me to understand because I don't dwell, like, granted, I dwell on my mother's passing, but, like, when people that I've been close to, I dwell on. But, like, for my mom to lose her parents and her siblings was a thing for her. Yeah. And just to me, that's like a circle of life. So it was really hard for me to understand. But evidently she took all of those passings pretty hard. Even though they were like 4 and 5 years later, she still like made a big deal.
First question, her mom, your grandmother, she just died of old age, or was she on the drugs?
She had GI. No. She had a GI bleed. She just died. She was well into her 70s.
Right. Yeah. But what about your mom's siblings? Drugs?
So one of them was, and the other one was like drugs kind of caught up to him.
Yeah, so it's kind of, I think that's like when the people you run with, I mean, you know, they start to...
Yeah.
But what's crazy is because most addicts don't like really think like that, which is, but it's her family,
right?
You know, it sounds like she was just she's been depressed.
Yeah.
You think maybe like when your dad left, like
I'm sure it was the 30 years of just being alone and not wanting to be with anybody else and not wanting to, you know.
Do you remember her before your dad and her divorce? Was she different?
She was a little different when he was home, but not when he was gone. So my dad was a truck driver.
Okay.
So when he wasn't, he would leave 2-3 weeks at a time. So when he wasn't home, she was a different person. But when she was home, she was like the mom of the fucking world. You know, it was just kind of, like she just lived like a double life. Yeah,
it's sad, man, because I've been around a ton of different addicts, including myself, and everybody has like a different way of living and coping with it, or functioning addict, as they like to call it.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's wild.
So, but my daughter told me that they were going to go do something with the homeless people underneath the bridge one day, and she came home and she was super excited about it, like super stoked about it. She was a sophomore in high school. No, I'm sorry, she was a junior in high school, and she was telling me all these wonderful things that we're going to do underneath the bridge, and I was like, well, Skylar, before y'all go, like, first off, you need to get an officer to go with you. Like, I don't think y'all understand what you're about to walk into.
Yeah.
So I actually talked to my director, and me, him, and a couple of firemen and a couple of police officers went underneath the bridge and cleaned up all the needles before they went. So it was like, I was so fucking frustrated because I was like, man, like, what that, like, you don't give a shit. Like, my kid's about to come out here in a couple of days and none of you give a fuck.
Well, they don't care about themselves.
Right. Once we sat down and like I talked with one of the guys who was like the most sober one out there. I was like, man, like, I can't get into your mindset. I understand and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But I just can't. Like, I just can't get there.
What did they go do out there? They just like went and give them food and stuff?
Yeah.
Like,
they were going out there to give them food.
That's nice.
We all pitched in a bunch of money from the school and gave them socks and shirts and underwear and stuff like that. Like, just simple basic life things.
Were they kind of like grateful for it? I'm sure like
100%. Yeah. 100%. Super grateful. Yeah. Super, super, super grateful. But it was just like so frustrating knowing that.
Well, some people don't clean their bedrooms, you know what I mean? So you can't really expect everybody we can't expect people to be how we want them to be, especially, I guess, in that predicament. But I notice, I drive through the city almost every day now, and it seems like it's gotten worse.
It has.
And people talk about, you don't know what kind of mental health they have. And, I'll be the first one to say, like, when I lost everything and, like, hit that rock bottom and basically should be homeless because I was broke, I was like, well, I can understand how somebody fucking ends up here.
100%.
And
100%.
A lot of people don't feel like they can come back from that. And if they are, like, suffering, depending on what drugs, I mean, you start getting schizo, bipolar, people probably had that before. So it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, I've been thinking a lot about cleaning up the city in different ways. And I just feel like there's got to be an answer. There's got to be a program that we could start to, like, there's got to be a way to like get these people.
Yeah, there's got to be. There's got to be.
I just don't understand how, and it's like the ones that want to stay out there, well, you fucking can't.
Yeah.
Like start, there's a lot of different ways to do things. I see, I don't know.
Like, we had a choice when
maybe
we were kids.
Maybe it's a pipe dream.
Like, it is, but I mean, it's not, but it's possible. Yeah. It's possible. You just got to find enough people to like be willing to put the ambition out there and do it.
I'm like a world peace dude. I just want everybody to be happy. And I mean, hey, be happy doing your drugs. Just do them at home.
Exactly. We tell people that all the time. They get so pissed off when we wake them up with Narcan because they like not fucking breathing. And they're like, why'd you do that? Well, bitch, you fucking overdose at home. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I just,
Oh, like in the house.
100%. Not in your front fucking yard. But we were raised to be on a street. Like, we were like, that's how we were raised. That's the environment we were in. Yeah. We made the decision as children. Yeah. Like, this is not what we want to do. Like, I will not do this. I can't. I will not depend on the government. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to fucking hustle. And I'm going to make every fucking penny that I can goddamn make. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that wasn't an option.
All four of my parents worked because I have a stepmom, a stepdad, and my dad was a cop for like 17 years. And so when I would just see or hear about the shit he was dealing with and people, he always thought I was going to be one of those like little thugs. I mean, I wanted to be real bad, you know, because, where we grew up at.
Well, exactly.
And I think at some point everybody was, but it's like I kind of started seeing like, well, if I keep doing that, I'm going to end up fucking dead in jail.
We were set up to be like that.
Well, yeah, because of the environment, and
Yeah.
But it's really, I've met kids in different schools because I've switched to a few, and you got kids that go to like shitty public schools that can excel and go to like the best college because it's all on their mindset. They're like, fuck, I'm gonna do this right. And then you got kids that go to the Catholic schools that are like, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah. So my daughter went to Catholic school. She graduated from Catholic school, but I did not fucking black, white her or anything. Yeah. The world is not sunshine. Like, she knew what the world is not sunshine and rainbows. The world ain't gonna be nice to you. Exactly. Like, you would never, if you ever met my kid, like, you would never know that she went to a Catholic school. Like, we are not sunshine. I'm paying for you to have a great education to hopefully set you up for the future.
Yes.
But there will be no silver spoon in your mouth.
Right. It's gonna be hard out here.
100%. You are gonna fucking bust.
Tough love.
If I had to hustle, you had to fucking hustle. Yep. Like, this is not, like, we live in this great house. We have lights, gas, water. We have a mortgage. We have food. But you're gonna work if you want your nails done. Yep. If you want this done, like, you're gonna fucking work for it. Like, if you want gas in your car, you're gonna work for it. Yep. Like, it's just the way it is. Like,
how old was she when she got a job?
She started dog sitting when she was about 15, and she started photography when she was 16.
Dog sitting's money.
It is, and she's about to actually start doing a whole lot of it now.
That's wild. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Because by no means I didn't want to like put her out the way my parents put me out. Well, my mom, should I say, my grandparents. But like, my 16th birthday was a stack of job applications and said, "You're gonna get you a job today, boo, because starting tomorrow." Yeah. Body wash, shampoo, conditioner, like, is not being provided. Like, I didn't do that to her. Right. But it was, okay, look, there's an event coming up. I'm willing to pay for this. However, after that, if you want to maintain it, you're going to figure out a way to make money. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a contract. 100%. Which is cool. Yeah. There was no, I'm going to hand you this and you're going to be overprivileged. No, you're going to work. Yeah, because I think what I'm starting to see now, because I cut a lot of people every day, and I'm like, okay, you got the kids who have been like spoiled their whole lives. They don't like know how to like do anything. Have no fucking clue. And they don't really give a shit. Yeah. And we were raised, you either learn how to do it or you're nothing but a paperweight. Yeah. I mean, I was working at the car wash at 14. 100%. Cutting hair at 14 too, Right. Like, I had all kind of little jobs, and because my parents couldn't afford to like, I had a roof over my head, but like, you want those Jordans, you got to go to work. Oh yeah. And shit, I was barely making enough to buy the Jordans, so I was just like, well, shit, I just want to, have money in my pocket, and everybody wants to be an influencer now, or like they don't want to do the hard work. No. They just want the instant gratification. Yeah. They want the name. Yeah. They want the name. They want the name on something, but they don't want to do the work to get their name on something. People don't realize when you're a business owner, and that's any business, not just, certain ones. It's like, you have to answer, excuse me, you have to answer to Uncle Sam. You have to do you're probably working there more than your actual 9 to 5. Right. Because the person that, you're working for at your 9 to 5, you just get to clock in, clock out. They got to worry about all the bullshit, all the shit you fucked up, all the shit your friends fucked up at work. Oh, yeah. And so I love supervisor. So I love when people are like really, hungry to start a job, like entrepreneurs, because it makes me go, oh, you know what? Like, they're going to get a taste. Yeah. And and a lot of them do really well, but it's not easy. No, it's not. It's hustle. It's hustle. Do you have like a plan, like what you're gonna do when you hit like 20 years? Or are you just gonna be a lifer, like you said? Oh my God, I don't know. You have any like other goals? I used to have a fucking plan. No, the problem is that I reached my goal at such an early age. So my end goal, my end goal was to be a flight paramedic and then move into like flight inland to just hospital to hospital kind of thing. You could do aerospace paramedic. Oh, right. I know, right? How fucking Dr. awesome Ryan. Would that be? How cool would that be? Yeah. It was the night before my daughter's 8th birthday, actually, I got a phone call from a guy that used to work with at West Jeff saying, hey, so we're extending our flight program. We need some more flight paramedics. They asked us to reach out to a girl. I couldn't think of helicopter? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I couldn't think of anybody better but you, because you're not going to deal with any of these guys' bullshit. So I reached, I wasn't expecting to reach that goal until I was well into my 30s or 40s, but I was in my early to mid 20s when I reached it. So now I'm like, well, fuck, I'm fucked up all my goddamn goals. Well, I mean, how old were you when you started that? So I was 20, oh my God. I think I was 23 when I started, and then that's when the oil field went down. So that's what I was going to ask. How long did that? Yeah, 18 months was as long as I did it. So the company I work for, we were 911 of the Gulf of Mexico. So if you needed something like some kind of medevac, we went out to the Gulf of Mexico. We went out anywhere in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, 2.5 hours. Right. If you couldn't land on it, we hoisted to it. So it was ridiculous amount of training constantly.
Coast Guard work, a lot of Coast Guard
stuff. It's the exact same thing as the Coast Guard, except we had a paramedic on board. So Coast Guard only has their rescue swimmer is their EMT-Basic. So I had a hoist operator. My EMT-Basic was also a rescue swimmer.
Yeah.
And it was me as a paramedic.
Damn, so you're like a helicopter paramedic over the water.
Yeah. If you call 911, if you're in the Gulf of Mexico, we're the ones who went out.
Wow.
And I wasn't expecting to reach that goal until I was like in my 30s, and then I would move into like.
They saw something in you.
I know, but shit. Yeah, because I didn't put up with any bullshit.
They could have gave it to Sal.
Oh, I
Sal
know.
don't do shit.
I loved it. I was the only girl. It was 2 pilots and 3 people in the back. I was the only girl, and they fucking gave me a run for my money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably made you tougher too. Like
yeah.
Bullshit. Everybody likes to fuck off at work and talk shit.
Yeah,
makes
100%.
the day go by.
Oh, 100%. When
especially if they like you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When they don't talk to you, that's when they're like, I guess
they gave me no leeway. There was no. A lot of people would ask like, "Are you like the daughter of the group?" No, ma'am.
Right.
I am the sister that they never fucking wanted. Like when we're going outside and doing 100 pull-ups. Yeah. Ashley's doing 100 pull-ups too. Like there's no.
I'm the one that whipped your ass in front of your friends.
Yeah, exactly. There was no like, and I remember one girl we actually were before the elevator went down. We were actually trying to extend the program. So there was a couple of girls that came out, and the guys were like, "Look, you're gonna have to deal with them. I can't. We just can't. We could deal with you, but we can't deal with them." Oh. So one of the girls was like, "Well, is there like a leeway being a girl? Like we could do sissy push-ups?" And I was like,
and these are like different like girls that are working with you?
The other girls that were trying for the program. Yeah, damn. Trying for the program. Like, no, bitch. Yeah. You better get on your fucking toes.
Like fucking G.I. Jane out there.
I didn't get any goddamn leeway. You're not getting any fucking leeway.
So wait, y'all had to like go through training like that?
We did. So we spent 2 weeks in May. We spent a week in Mesa and a week in Texas. Again, if we couldn't land on it, we hoisted to it.
Right, so you got to be physically fit.
100. That was the best shape of my life. That's the one thing I can say. I loved all those guys for is they had to. Yeah. I had to be.
Well, they pushed you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
because
if
definitely. Not, I mean, like I guess like since that's the type of team unit where it's like every person, if there's a weak link,
right,
you put everybody in danger, right? And so like y'all all have to be strong.
And I was in the EMS at that time, probably about 8-9 years. I never left West Jeff. I stayed part time just because of we didn't get as many calls as I did when I was on the street, right? We were running between 8, 10, 12 calls on the street. Yeah. So out of a 2-week period, we would maybe get like 15 to 20. You know, so I always wanted to stay with West Jeff to keep up with my skills. But when we were out there, it was just there was no stop. Like there was no fucking leeway. Right. There was no leeway. There was so many times I'm like, but I can't just phone a friend. That made me learn how to trust. Like I thought I knew how to trust my crew when I was on a truck, but that like made me learn how to trust my guys. Because I mean, I'm
it's like life and death.
100%. I'm dangling from a helicopter 60 fucking feet in the air. Like it's either I have to trust that my hoist operator and the 2 pilots are on their game.
Yeah, like, everybody. Yeah, so that's got to be intense training. Did y'all get a lot of calls out there?
Yeah, we did. So my most memorable call though was so there was a hurricane coming into the Gulf. I was only with the company for 4 months. So I'm already shitting myself. Yeah. We were like packing. Great. Right, exactly. We're packing to evacuate to fucking Texas.
Thought you were going somewhere
Exactly. I'm like, this is just fucked up.
Like, we need you.
Right, yeah. There was like 15, 20-foot seas. We couldn't land on it, so we had to hoist to it. And it was...
That's some scary shit, huh? I worked offshore for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you know. Yeah. So you understand. Yeah. It is nothing like... and once we got in the deck and I got this guy and I medicated him, they were like, yeah, you might have to hang out here for 20 minutes. I'm like... No, the fuck I'm not. Yeah. Get me off this thing.
Yeah, those swells are, and it's crazy how like when those platforms are just like stuck in the Gulf like that.
Yeah.
It's when I was on working for this company, we had to train and do all that stuff. They put you in a helicopter simulator, throw you in the water upside down, and I'm like, I'm not the brightest person, but if we get in a helicopter crash, don't we just die?
No.
They say no. You if you don't blow up or whatever, right. And it's like, how do I remember to take off the seatbelt on the fucking water?
You figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. So it was definitely pretty, it was cool to learn how to do all that stuff because that shit does happen.
Dude, the first time I went out to go do that training was during my 1-week training in Mesa.
Okay.
There was a guy, he was a, oh my God, what was Yost? Yost was he wasn't a ranger. He was, oh my God, I just totally lost it in my head. But anyway, so he's the one who pulled me off on the side because I could not get over. They were like, you just have to accept drowning. And I'm like, who the fuck accepts drowning. Like, who does that? Like, they
Yeah.
were like, you're just going to have to accept drowning. It took me about 2 hours on the side of the pool. It is 90 fucking degrees outside in September in Texas.
Yeah.
And I'm shivering because I'm shaking. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. There's no fucking way I'm going to be able to do this. And this guy, Yost, came up and he was like, look, I'm going to work with you. And he was the calmest, coolest, collective freaking person ever. Has been through fucking shit. Been in the military for 20 years.
Right.
Came and sat and put my legs up on the side of the pool and was like, you're going to do this. Like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I was like,
Because you're not going to pass.
right. You're right. I don't have a choice. And it took me another hour, but I figured it out. Like, I was like, but who the fuck just accepts drowning? Like, who does that?
Well, that was probably to mentally throw you off. Because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, am I going to accept death?
Yeah,
So, like,
exactly.
you got to think about it.
Exactly.
Maybe he was doing it. I don't know.
Exactly.
You know.
I got because I'm sure he's been in so many situations in his
Yeah.
life where it's like, all right, well, today's the day I'm gonna die.
Well,
oh,
yeah.
I lived. Great.
Yeah. Well, you don't look like a quitter, and you don't look like you back down. So I
Yeah.
think maybe he was like pepping you up. For
I
that.
guess so. I mean, I passed, and every time we went through simulation, I was the first one to pass all around. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you had to do. So I'm assuming you had to do like the 4 steps where you had to put like the C's bottle in, get flipped over, and then pull it out, and they rip it out. Yeah, it was fucking bullshit.
Turn your FRC
Oh
into
my
a floating device
God,
because, like,
it was
working on the rigs, you got to
so
wear
ridiculous.
fire retardant clothing.
Yeah. Well, we didn't get that option.
Well, because y'all aren't wearing FRCs. Y'all are just, like,
Yeah.
you know, those guys on the platforms, like, they're wearing that all day, every day, you know, natural gas, oil. So
Right.
if you do have to jump off of a rig, which is really fucking dangerous because
Yeah.
there's, you know, if you don't
Hello,
jump
BP.
far enough,
Yeah.
barnacles on the side, you know, you got
Yeah.
all kind of sharks, all kind of shit. If it blows up, you know, the water can boil.
Just
People,
fucked.
just a lot of,
Just
well,
fucked.
but if you swim far enough, you can literally take that FRC, put it around your neck, put air in it, and then
Right.
it turns into a floaty.
Right.
And which
Our
I was
harnesses
like,
had that.
how the fuck am I gonna remember that?
Exactly. It's amazing what you remember. So one night we
Well, yeah, it's what's that called? That part of your brain, like when shit happens, and you know,
during a fight or flight, babe.
yeah. Like it comes to you, you know, like if you're about to get in a wreck, and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't
We
breathe.
actually we lost the engine one night and we had to land in. They were like, look, we can either try to make it 30 more miles to the nearest platform, or we can land in the water. And the 2 pilots and my hoist operator and the EMT-Basic were like, let's just land in the water. I'm like,
and
What?
do what? And do what? Wait.
yeah.
It floats?
Open doors. Yeah, you have rafts that come out.
Oh,
you
yeah,
open
yeah.
doors, and you can either. So we all opted to swim to the nose and wait in
Jesus.
case it flipped over, because if it flipped over, you were in a fucking simulation, right? I was like, okay.
I fucking hate
I'm
sharks.
like, this is not right. Anything that I can't see, I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Well, I've watched too much Shark Week. I
Right?
already know what's out there. It don't
What's
even have to be a
coincidentally, it
shark.
was fucking Shark Week, and we just got finished watching it, and we were like, "Hey, let's go out for a hoist training." And like, what? What do you mean? Like, it's 2:00 in the morning. When
Yeah.
are we gonna go? Well, I mean, if we get a flight right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, you're right, cool, let's go. And then we lost the engine. I'm like, this is not like.
Y'all landed in the
Oh
water?
yeah, we ended up landing in the water.
Oh, jeez.
We had a boat come get us. Yeah, it was fucking a great time. It was a great time.
Well, I noticed. I had a buddy that worked for, I guess, a heliport for one of the offshore companies. What a lot of people don't realize is, like, it's dangerous getting in and out of a helicopter because you can lose your head.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Either let the blade stop or you better duck.
Yes.
Hand signals.
Because it, I think when it's first starting, it's kind of tilted, right?
Yeah,
and then
tilted
it finally
forward.
comes up.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Once it gets so much RPM, it'll come up.
that actually fucking freaked me out more than like getting to and from the boats, and because you know you grab onto the little hoist that lifts you up, puts you on the rig. But to me, I was like, dude, I can't forget to step out because I might.
Cause what do you do when you get out of a car? When you get off a bus? When you get you just step out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just natural just to step out. Yeah. No, it's completely fucking different.
So now that you've made the decision to stay at EMT as long as you can, do you have, like, what's your hobbies? Clearly you work out, you look pretty jacked.
Oh, thank you.
I know
Thank you.
we were
It's
talking
hard
about
work.
training
It's hard
earlier.
work. It's hard work.
It is.
It's a second
fucking
job.
is, dude. Sure.
Second job. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Right.
I got to keep remembering I'm 39. I'm not going to be 21 anymore.
That's true, but I feel like we're the generation that we have that mindset of like training and working out and like all in, and it's a lifestyle, right?
100%.
So I've fallen off 100 times. I get back on.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you live like that, you will become like a 40, 50, 60-year-old that's like in shape. Because there's tons of, really old people that are like in shape.
Yeah. No,
And-
not
and
kidding.
I know a dude, when I worked out at the gym right before Katrina, Manhattan on Lapalco, he had like open heart surgery. That was the one, like they had two. One in Manhattan and one in Lapalco. Well, This dude was like jacked at like 68 or 71 or something like that. And he had a big scar because he had the open heart surgery. And he's like, oh yeah, man, I just started working out like 2 years ago. And I was like, but you're fucking huge. Well, he was,
my ass.
yeah, but he was on TRT, but like testosterone. But he was like, yeah, man, like when I had this, it cracked my chest open, and the doctor was like, you can never like work out or do anything. And he said, I'm gonna show him. And he like literally, so I feel like if you put your mind to it, slowly do things, don't go overkill. I don't know. I mean, what other way are you going to live longer?
Right. Right. The number one reason why I do it is because of my job. That is my stress relief.
Yeah.
That is my stress relief.
Well, it's scientifically proven that if you work out, you relieve mental stress.
Yeah. Like sleep. Not even kidding. Oh yeah. Not even kidding. Like there's so many days that like that's been my therapy. That's always been my therapy. Yeah. We, I guess it might be almost a year ago now, we had that house fire in Gretna with the 2 kids that were burned pretty bad, and we lost one of them. We actually lost 2 out of 3 of them. But, like, that's when we got done, there was the church's pastor or whatever waiting for us to talk, and she was like, you want to talk? I'm like, no, I just need to go to the gym.
Right.
I just need to go to the gym. Like, I just need to go to the gym. I need to burn it out. I need to cry. I need to, like, get it out. I just need to, like, I need to do it at the gym. Like, yeah, so that's actually where it came. Like, that's where my motivation comes from, is just the built up frustration of what we do every day for 7 days straight, and then some.
You should get into jiu-jitsu. I just started in January. I love it. Love it.
Don't put any ideas in my head.
Well, I mean, you seem like the type of person that doesn't like to sit around.
Oh, no. And, it's just I just got to find something to burn the fucking anger. I
feel like that's frustration. When somebody's trying to like literally choke you out, there's nothing crazier than like, okay, I can't allow this person to do it. So you're fighting. Like you're literally, and it's like all that anger that you have, all that rage, anything that ever happened to you, like that shit goes out the window, and then you're just like fighting for your life.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get a lot of that out. Like when I leave practice, like today, I was just like, whew, I'm good. Like, I mean, I don't fucking feel good. You do and you don't, because you can get, it's I did a tournament like 3 weeks ago, and I'm 37, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to do a tournament. I don't want to get hurt. I just want to come and learn and get the, the conditioning.
Right.
And then the professor, Matthias is his name, super bad motherfucker. It just trained a lot of black belts, I think, throughout the city. He's going to come on the show soon, hopefully.
Oh, cool.
Which is really like an honor.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited because he's an older gentleman, but he's so like nimble and quick, but he's just a killer. You know, like he's very nonchalant. Like he's not aggressive, but like when he does what he does, it's like, whoa. So like learning how to do all that, it just kind of gives you a different mindset. Like I wrestled in high school, and so I feel like when I did that, it kind of just put me in a different like zone.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm getting that back now as like a 37-year-old, because there is like people deal with shit differently, right? Like you dealing with your job every day. I feel like that's just like working out only does so much, especially like, so I feel like now that is like a whole different fucking animal. And I'm like, dude, I need this.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. But it's addictive. I mean, I was going like 6 days a week, and I was like, fuck, I need to chill out.
Yeah.
Cause I was like blowing off shit to go do jiu-jitsu.
Cause I mean, let's be real. You can only tap the door so many times before you walk inside your house and leave all the other shit on the outside.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would feel like when I train, like work out sometimes, I'd still have shit on my mind when I get off or like leave the gym. And like when I go to jiu-jitsu, I'm like, what the fuck was I mad about earlier?
Exactly.
Like that shit's gone. Some dude literally almost broke my arm.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Choked me out. I mean, god damn. But it's like, it's almost like Fight Club. It just feels good. You feel like, And it's kind of cool to know, like in your situation, like if you had to protect yourself, you could do it real quick. I mean, there's a lot of women that do jiu-jitsu. I mean, some chick almost literally broke my arm like a month ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah, because I'm still a white belt, and anybody over a white belt can kill you. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. We do have one. Well, actually, one of our EMTs is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, has been for a couple of years. And legit, like, and if you see him, you would just think, like,
regular.
This is a nerdy son of a bitch who just goes home and plays
a lot of them are nerds
every night.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
They're not like, they're not jacked up. I mean, some of them are.
No. He legitimately looks like he's just a nerdy son of a bitch who goes home and plays like video games every day. And
he does after jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, right, exactly. And we found him online and seen some of his videos. We're like, holy fuck, this dude can legitimately like kill somebody.
Yeah. Like kill you.
Legitimately can like kill somebody. Yeah. Like, okay, all right, cool. Let's not piss him off.
No. It's and what's crazy is like I was rolling with my buddy today, And he just got his blue belt at the tournament. So it was really cool to see like somebody level up like that, because it takes a while. You know, they don't just like give them out
it's
to
fucking
people.
work.
Yeah,
it's work.
yeah. You got to get 4 notches just to get a blue belt. So it's like a degree, boom. And it's like he's just a regular looking dude, you know, because they're always telling me, "Oh, bro, you're all jacked up and shit." And I was like, "Yeah, man, thanks." So I was like, "I probably need to lose some weight because I feel like y'all are smaller." And like I'm not as flexible, you know. When you kind of like when you have more muscle,
Like
or
when I walk in here, I'm big for no fucking reason, and when I walk over here, I'm big for a great reason.
yeah, because it's like, you know, muscles are all show, and then you walk in here, and don't get me wrong, there's some dudes in there that are fucking like really chiseled, but it's like they're so hard.
Yeah,
like this dude's legs,
it's
like
a different kind of stamina.
Oh yeah, he had me gripped, and I was like, this dude's gonna crush my fucking ribs, and like he just doesn't look. Yeah, I mean he's shorter than me and everything, so it's like. It's kind of like wrestling where you know, you never underestimate your opponent. And so that's what it's kind of teaching me. You know, like, you know, Joe Rogan's always like telling people, you know, like try jujitsu. Anthony Bourdain, before he passed away.
He promotes the shit out of that.
Well, yeah, he does. And he lost like 50 pounds, got in the best shape of his life, quit smoking cigarettes. And it's definitely like something I want to continue into like my older life. You know, like I probably will compete again, but I want to know more shit. Yeah. Because Matthias was like, yeah, dude, just come. I was like, yeah, I'm a white belt. He's like, all the white belts are competing. And I almost choked out this brown belt in judo.
Congratulations.
Well, yeah. Well, I used my wrestling skills. I was like, all right, I haven't done
one of two ways this is gonna go.
Yeah, because you know, they do you by weight classes, and I like lost a bunch of weight before this shit happened, and then they put me with this guy that was 180. We're both like 180. And the professor called me to go next, and there's a fuckload of people. And I'm just like, dude, I'm about to get murked. They called a dude on the end who I know is a judo guy. Like, I know he's in judo. I see him at the practices, but he's a big old dude. He's like 215. I was like, fuck, he's got 40 pounds on me. I just used some of my wrestling stuff. I got behind him, and I would have probably been the fastest submitter that day if I would have choked him out. But he knew what to do.
Well, of course.
And I did it twice, and then he just like, I got tired, and we were both gassed. I could hear him like breathing, like, and I was like, damn, this dude, you know. And so it's just kind of like
a fucking bull dying on the ground.
Yeah, basically. And when he laid on me, he just kept squeezing air out of me until I couldn't breathe. You know, because that's what they do. Like, it's
of course, they use that mass for a reason.
Well, yeah, jiu-jitsu is all about this, you know, not so much about this. And like when you tell somebody in jiu-jitsu you're strong, they kind of take offense because it's like it's all about smarts. It's like you're gonna outsmart this person, right? So you learn how to like roll slower and like let them make the mistake, and then you counteract it. So it's pretty nice. Yeah, maybe you should try it. Just saying.
No, maybe one day. I can
might give you like a new outlet. You know,
maybe I'll go watch a time or two.
Right, right.
I'd have to get yeah, that'd be a fear. But I'd have to get it out.
Yeah, you'll try one day, or whatever. You know,
we'll see.
With the going back to the fire, my dad used to be a fireman also, way before I was born, and I asked him, what's it like to like see a burning body? Or he's like, well, it's not as bad because you see a lot, but he's like, the smell, you never get out your nose.
I was just about to say that. You'll never forget that smell.
So being a paramedic, I'm sure y'all have seen and smelled some crazy shit, right? Because my stepdad said if somebody passes away and they kind of get big, you know, and like their body swells. Yeah. A couple days.
That's fucking disgusting.
You ever get used to that?
No.
What do you do to prepare for that?
No, like, you don't. You don't. So now.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. So now, like,
I heard people like not huff gasoline, but like
no. So we actually, the ER does, and we steal them all the time. You know how you always see the swabs that you see him crack and put underneath people's nose to wake them up? Well, they have these tangerine ones now that we have like fucking 30 of them. All of us do, and you can put them inside your nose, and all you smell is tangerines. It's an amazing thing. Either
it's not the smell salt shit?
Nope. Or you can put toothpaste in between two masks. Oh, we got all kinds of fucking ways.
Yeah.
Bounty sheets. I used to carry bounty sheets all the time. I put a bounty sheet on my face. Yeah. But now, thank God, if you see somebody like that, you don't have to actually make contact. As long as you see them and you see how bad off they are, you can get a termination of time.
Oh, no shit.
Thank God. You're still going to have to fucking smell them because they ain't no smell like that. And it fucking reeks. Right. Fuck blocks.
Like, you could tell. Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, my stepdad said the guy, like, passed away on the toilet. Mm-hmm. And it was a trailer, so it was very tiny bathroom. Of course. And they had to, like, fucking pop his arms off. Yeah. And I was like, pop him off or cut him off? And he was like,
kind of like dislocate him.
Yeah. And I'm like, they just came off? He's like, dude, when the body's decomposing. Yeah, it's wild.
God, yeah. So
You had to do crazy shit like that?
No, thank God. So the coroner's office, if they can't get the body out, they will call the fire department to help them out.
Yeah, that's
thank fucking God they don't call EMS.
Yeah, that's what my stepdad was.
Oh my God, thank God, because there's no way. I'd have quit a long time ago. I'd be living underneath the bridge with one of them guys. There's no fucking way.
They almost get there first, right? The fire department, kind of.
It just depends. So we don't. So in Jefferson Parish, we don't really send the fire department out to too much unless we need like lift assistance, or if you're so big, we have a CPR device called the Lucas.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit on the patient because it's too small or too big, we'll get them to come help us with stuff like that. But when it comes to like dead bodies or something we're going to pronounce, we never call the fire department anymore.
What about like car accidents that are real bad, like the claw?
So they automatically they automatically go to every single car accident that there is. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the Jaws of Life.
Got Jaws of Life.
Yeah. We actually.
What a fucking name.
No, it's fine. Right. Yeah. No. So every car accident they get sent to. If we're too far away from something, we'll call them to go to it first before we get there, like a shortness of breath or something like that. But but for the most part, they only go to things that we actually ask them for. But back in the day, they used to go to fucking everything. They used to get like when your stepdad was. Yeah. But they went to everything.
Well, yeah, because he was like my real dad. He was a fireman, and then he became a police officer. I think it was in that order. And my stepdad was volunteer because in Lafitte, it's like. He wanted to like be a real one, but like you don't like he had to go through all the training, but you don't get paid. And like man, he responded like 300 response calls his first year, and I'm like, bro, he was always going, but he loves that shit,
right?
And he's not a smell person. Like he'll fucking puke if like somebody cooks like broccoli.
We all have our one thing, okay? Like we all have.
He could see the crazy shit.
We all have our one thing. Yeah. Like some of us have puking. I can't deal with dentures.
Yeah.
If I'm going to intubate you and your teeth move, I'm fucked. Yeah, I'm fucked. Right. I'm fucked. Somebody come get these teeth out of this person's mouth. I can't fucking do it. I just can't do it. But yeah, no. Like,
you
see some shit.
You, like,
no, I can't. No. But it's funny though, because like every single call, so we call it an adrenaline junkie.
Okay.
Well,
yeah,
like,
I think that's kind of,
exactly. We're an adrenaline junkie, which is kind of funny because every fucking call is different and you really don't, you might be dispatched to something, but you don't exactly know what you're walking into.
Right.
But when it comes to personal shit, we don't like change.
Okay.
Which is kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of weird. I never did understand it. I never will understand it. So like we don't like change. Like as a person, as a human, right? You don't like change, right?
Yeah.
But like we can be dispatched to like a car accident that's simple. Somebody complaining of chest pain, and really the person should complain of chest pain because their steering wheel is inside their chest. And they're trapped, and you're waiting to get them cut out, right?
Gotcha.
And we're okay with that. We're like, all right, cool. So we're gonna have to do
X. Because they're alive and they're okay,
right? Yeah. So A, B, and C just went out the window. Now we have to prepare for X, Y, and Z, right?
Right.
But anything else in life, like up until making a lunch decision on what we want to eat for lunch, it's just like the hardest fucking thing ever. Like we don't like change, and we don't like making decisions. But it's hilarious.
Right.
It's all of us.
But your job depends on split
100%.
decisions, life or death decisions.
100%.
What do you like when y'all normally get calls like that and they kind of dispatchers telling you, they had a bad car wreck, blah blah blah? Like, do y'all like what do you do to prepare for that? Do you have like a system, or do you have like a mindset, or is it just like
it's all a mindset? Yeah, it's all a mindset. You just kind of listen to what they're telling you. Most of the times on something that's going to be horrific, they kind of give you a lot of updates.
Yeah.
So as a supervisor,
that way you know what you're walking
into.
Yeah.
Exactly. As a supervisor, I always go to stuff like that as long as I'm not on another call.
Okay.
And I'll always get at least 2 of my trucks going if I have to. But on the updates, a lot of times, I can't say a lot of times, most of the times, like one of us is communicating with each other to be like, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. As a supervisor, I know at the end of the day, that's my paramedic's patient.
Yes.
So I always side by side with my paramedic and say, what do you want me to do? Because this is yours.
Right.
Because I'm not taking a call. I'm not transporting university. I'm not going to university with them. Like so this is your patient at the end of the day. So it's, what do you want me to do? And they develop a game. We will develop a game plan when we get there. It just depends on the situation, but it's just a mindset you get into. You just get into that mindset of, okay, you have 1, 2, and 3, or just 1 and 2 patients. This is what we need to do. This is least critical. This is most critical. This is the one that's going to take the longest to get out.
That's where the decision making comes in.
100%. It's just a lot of communication. It's a lot of communication. It's the most organized chaos you can ever be in.
Yeah.
It like legitimately the most organized chaos you can ever be in. It's crazy.
Do you get like when you're, I guess I would call like in the zone, do you feel like, I guess, good, like, because you love your job? Is it like is it a rush for you, or like are you getting anxiety from it?
No, that is probably the calmest I ever, like any of us, especially me, as ever am in our life. Like we're like,
Right.
We're going a
That's
million
when you're
miles an
on.
hour, but it's like a duck on top of the water that its feet's going. But you looked at the fucking calm and super surface, yeah. No, that's probably the calmest you'll ever see any of us.
Wow.
We'll get like super anxious over the stupidest fucking stuff.
Yeah. Like,
But when it
what
comes
are we going to
to-
eat at Wendy's? Like, I don't fucking know.
Exactly. But you put us on a shit show of a situation,
Some
and we
dude
just
cut his hand off. You're like, oh, I got it.
exactly. It's no big deal. No big deal. Yeah, no. Calm is the calmest, most collective. We recently had a shooting in Marrero.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 people shot. Both of them were super critical. I had 2 trucks there, me, and I have a solo Lafitte car that actually came up to help us out with it. But it was the most calm, cool, collective situation. Hey, I need this. My solo Lafitte car, which is actually Edith that's here today.
Nice.
She stood
Shout
in the
out.
doorway in between the 2 patients and was like, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? And
Right.
it's just constant communication. And once we were all said and done, we were like, all right, cool.
Well, it sounds like y'all are team working, which is
100%.
good.
Yeah, you cannot not teamwork when it comes to like a shit show of a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even at the end of like the shittiest calls, we always make sure like, hey, bro, you okay? You good? You want a minute? You need to take a couple of minutes kind of thing. So
I feel like one of my buddies, Derek, he is also an EMT. It's like, I know there's a lot of private companies, right?
yeah.
Do you feel like we have enough EMTs now? Like, you know, like what do you like want to tell people like out there listening that are maybe thinking about doing this job? Like, tell them to
It's the most.
go do it.
Yeah. Legitimately, it is the most humbling thing. And I guess that's kind of what keeps me in it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most humbling thing I've ever done in my life.
Purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So this wasn't 90% of us that's in EMS. This was not our end goal.
Right.
Like this was not my end goal personally. This was not like I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to EMT school and then I'm gonna go be a nurse.
Right.
And then I'll travel and I'll make all this money, blah, 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 whatever. But this was not most of our end goal. You just get sucked into it. Like you really do. Like just being on the street and making your decisions. We have a set of protocols underneath the doctor's order. However, you make those decisions in that moment. And it's just the most humbling, the most humbling thing I've ever done in my life.
Because it's like life or death for some of those people.
100%. And we get stuck in some pretty shitty, uncomfortable situations.
That's what I was going to ask next. Like, is it
Yeah.
like most of those judgment calls, like, do you feel good about making them? Or, I mean, you're doing your best you could do, right?
You do the best you can do in
Which
that
you know,
moment. Yeah,
train.
exactly. You do the best you can do in that moment.
You're trying to save somebody's life. Man.
Exactly. You do what you can. You just do everything you can, and to accept that 100% of what you put in is not always enough sucks.
Right.
And they don't prepare you for that. There's no fucking chapter in a paramedic book that prepares you for that, right? So you just kind of like have to put that on your back shoulder and just keep going on the next call. But it legitimately is the most humbling thing I've ever. I mean, I've sat with families and cried. I've sat with like on Christmas morning finding dad dead. Sat with families and cried, and daughters who were pregnant, miscarriages, simple things, like, but it's legitimately the most
simple but life changing.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I have a thing. I always tell my crew, you have 5 minutes, right? Like, so if something gets to you, you have 5 minutes. And I tell this to my daughter, I teach it to her. You have 5 minutes to just let it out, and you have to just move on. Like it just is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing with the families. I'll spend 5 minutes, just that simple. 5 minutes of just get it out, let it out, kick it out. All right, now unfortunately, I have to go on to the next. But the
somebody else needs me.
Right, exactly. And the first, when we're going calls, and not every single one of them, obviously, because people call 911 for stupid shit that they can go to an urgent care for, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, right?
100%, because the mentality
they should start charging people that don't need the right when y'all pull up, you're like, oh, they don't need nothing.
It's the mentality that I can get into the ER faster, and it's just fucking a waste of goddamn time and resources.
Big ass fucking medical bill,
right?
Even with insurance.
Oh my god, don't even get me fucking started. Don't even get me started. But like when you are on that call, that is the that person's shittiest fucking moment. You have 5 seconds to develop trust. Wow. Like, hello, my name is Ashley. I'm going to be a paramedic. I need you to take a deep breath. Huh. And they're like, okay, cool. I'm going to take a deep breath. Or they're going to fucking swing at you. It's either one or the other, but you got 5 seconds. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's adrenaline.
It sounds like everything is, every call is different.
Exactly. Every single fucking call. You can go on somebody simply having chest pain, and then you can go on a 2-year-old that's having a seizure that you can't get to stop seizing. Wow. And then you can go on 90-year-old grandma who just died, and then you can go on somebody who stubbed their toe in the parking lot and wanted to the hospital, whatever. It's just it's all day long. It's a constant roll of adrenaline and roller coaster, and just you never know what you're going to be going to.
It definitely sounds like it grinds your gears a little bit to where it's like so it's like you kind of live for it a little bit, but you're helping,
Yeah.
Like you
can't
found
help
your
it.
purpose.
Right. Right.
That's cool.
Right. But most of us did not want to be paramedic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
you
sure.
You just get sucked in.
Well, I mean, first off, thank you for doing what you do and everybody else that you brought with you today because, personally to me, there aren't enough paramedics,
There isn't.
Firemen, police officers, teachers, I just feel like, those jobs don't seem cool to people anymore, but I think they are. I know I couldn't do what you do. I can't stand blood, and I cut hair for a living.
That'd be a problem.
Yeah. So, and, smells or whatever, but I just don't, I'm man enough to admit that I don't think I have what it takes to do that.
Right.
It takes a
And it's not for
person.
everybody.
No.
It's not for everybody. It's just us psychos. That's all.
No, well, you got to be crazy.
No shit.
Yeah.
I'm
going to go into that house that's sort of partially, well, I guess you can't go into a burning building, but other people do. But I'm sure you've been in some crazy ass buildings.
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous shit,
Yeah.
So I just want to tell you thank you for that, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I know we appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. How can people find you if they want to reach out to you, and ask you what's your handle, or do you you on Facebook, you on Instagram?
I do. I prefer my Instagram though.
Yeah,
I have
sure.
Instagram Ashmo Medic.
Yeah, I think we started following each other. Yeah, Ashmo Medic.
Yeah. I started that a long time ago.
Nice.
Jesus, I don't need to change that. No, it's fine.
No.
Ashmo Medic. My Facebook is pretty private. I keep that with my daughter and my family. So
Sweet.
but my Instagram is Ashmo Medic.
Awesome. I really appreciate you coming on. How was it? First one?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You did good. You did great.
Thank you.
You feel
Appreciate
better?
it. Yeah, I do. I feel a
Now
lot
you
better.
can relax. No,
No, not kidding. I did one about a year or so ago, but it was a face-to-face. I was in the comfort of my bedroom, so it was totally different.
Like a Zoom?
Yeah, we did a Zoom with one of the guys I worked offshore with to talk about a couple of cases. But,
sweet.
But that was different because I was in the comfort of my own bedroom. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different in here, and I always try to prep people. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, I still get nervous.
No, but it's comfortable though. It's super comfortable.
It's a good time. But thank you for coming on, Ashley. I appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
We'll have you on again and tell us some more stories, some crazy stuff. Good luck with all your endeavors, and try out jiu-jitsu if you ever feel like it. They got one on the West Bank. That's
I'll go watch.
Yeah.
I'll go watch a couple of times first, and then we'll go from there.
Then you'll get the itch.
Maybe.
Yeah. And
Maybe.
the good thing about it is when you do start off, nobody's trying to kill you.
That's a positive.
Well, yeah. Because they already know they can. It's just like you don't know anything. Right. I got a 4-year wrestling background, and I'm always like, I don't know shit. And they're like, yeah, dude, it's probably going to take you like a year to even understand. Just try to stay alive.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, cool. So don't get choked. But
it's been a long time since I had a fight for my life. I don't know.
Well, no, but it's really a lot of it's a very good community.
Yeah.
I'm wish I would have did it like 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. I mean, it's like life changing for me a little bit. Okay. It's been helping with the mental.
Yeah.
If you get bored, and I do that and working out, so you can do.
Yeah, both. We need that outlet. We need that fucking outlet for sure.
Yes.
Like seriously.
And I really think they need to start figuring out how to get y'all some sort of whether it's therapy or stuff like that for the paramedics. Because a lot of people deal with mental depression. It's probably the biggest one of the biggest epidemics I would say right now, like mental health.
Yeah, definitely.
And people don't know how to talk to somebody about shit.
Right.
And,
because when you're at work, you have to tuck it away.
Yeah.
And even no matter what you have going on at home, you can have a shit situation at home, right?
Yeah.
So at work, you're tucking it away.
Yeah.
And by the time you get off of work, we work 12-hour shifts, 12 to 14, sometimes 18-hour shifts. By the time you get home, I don't want to deal with the shit at home. I just want to fucking tuck that away too. So you just kind of keep tucking and tucking and tucking and tucking.
Yeah, and that leads to
other horrible things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, I appreciate you, and I hope y'all enjoy this podcast. And if you like it, hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. And thank Ashley for coming on, and we'll see y'all next time. I hope y'all got something out of it because I know I did. And y'all have a good night.